Hello, everybody. So I'm in my swimsuit. We're gonna go play out in the pool this afternoon after lunch, and I'm already dressed for it. So don't mind extra cleavage here today. But I had asked yesterday what people would like to see. I'm home, so I thought I'm gonna hop on, do a live. So if you're hopping on, make sure you say hi. I'm gonna cover a few different things for what people wanted to see today. And then I gotta go make some lunch. But so say hi if you're here, if you're watching this in replay. I know it's a holiday, so it's okay. We were just out of town this weekend, so I'm unpacking all my stuff. So I don't have anything really ready, but no big deal at all. So let's first start out with kind of beginner basics. I have some ladies here. If you are just starting out with your Saint makeup, if you just got it over the August rush sale or whenever, just recently, and you're still maybe trying to try things out and you're kind of struggling a little bit, I haven't done one of these tutorials for a while, so I thought this would be a great time to do it. So many of you would have started out with one of 3 of these brushes, okay? So I often suggest this one. This is the blush and bronzer brush, and this is gonna give you a light coverage, light to medium coverage. Or you might have the 3D brush. This is like our OG brush. Lots of people start with it. So when I started 3-4 years ago with Saint. And so you might have this one. Let me know what brush did you start out with if you are already a Saint wearer. I think it's always fun to see. And then this one I do suggest sometimes. This is called the buff brush, and this is for a fuller coverage. And I know some people snagged it for 50% off during our August rush sale as well. So I'm actually going to we're going to start with the blush and bronzer brush. This one is the one I use daily, and so that's how I'm going to show you how I apply. So if you're just getting started, you probably have just the basics, and that's what I'm going to cover. And then I am going to get into a little bit more just because I do want to cover a few different things. So depending on, you might have a different size compact. I don't think I'm going to pull out stuff out of mine. This is the three layer one. This is called the Palette 27. And you probably have a highlight shade. You may have a color correcting highlight shade or even a brightener. So depending on where you're starting today, I think I am going to just do a main highlight shade just to really keep it basic. And then you're going to have a contour color, which is going to be that darker color in your compact. If you have 2 different dark colors in your compact, you might also have a bronzer. I always highly suggest Bella Bronzer to so many people, and I'm going to talk about bronzer placement today as well. And then, of course, you're probably going to have like at least 1 or 2 lip and cheek colors for blush and for lip color. And then we'll talk about illuminators as well. So I'm just going to stick to really those 4 basic colors, and then I should say 5, because I'm going to add in the bronzer too. So what I like to start with, you can really go with contour first or your highlight first. It doesn't matter. I like to start out with my highlight, and then I usually just leave where I'm going to put my contour, leave those areas bare because I know I'm going to already put a product there. Now, one thing I do like to show whenever I have like a hostess and I'm doing an in-person or an online party, I always like to show this graphic. Let me find it quick. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. This is my HAC girl, and this really shows you placement, and this is what I'll be following. If you need this graphic, just comment HAC girl and I'll send this to you. It's always available. I think I always have it pinned at the top, not pinned, but like it's in my albums on this page. Or I also have, the website always has it as well. But if you want one just to save on your phone, which is what I really like to do, just comment HAC girl, HAC girl, and I will get that sent to you, okay? So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to actually pull out my tin just so I can really show you what I'm doing. So with your main highlight shade, here's your brush. Whatever one you end up using is fine. Now, a couple tips for when you're going to apply. Really, a little bit goes a long way, and there's can be a lot of these tips might be really helpful if you're getting started because it might be different than what you do with other makeup, okay? So of course this would normally be in your palette, but I'm going to show you. So you don't want to go in and scoop out the product. You're going to get way too much product. And when you use way too much product, you're going to see extra texture. You're also going to go through this product way too fast. And these little tins, they might seem small, but this tin can last between like 2 to 4 months if you're not wearing it daily, even up to 6 months. It really depends. But for me, I would say it lasts me about 3 months. And I wear it when I'm working daily, like Monday through Friday. So what I'm going to do, I just move my brush around and I tap into it. I think I did it about 4 times. Okay. Then I'm going to just place it. I'm just pressing it into my face where I want it. And I'm not doing too much blending, but I'm just like dabbing it, pressing it on, okay? And I'm going to keep pressing it until I see that I'm not getting any more, like all the product is gone, okay? Do you see how that already covered like almost half my face? So really you shouldn't need a lot of product. Of course, there's certain circumstances if you have more discoloration, if you have acne spots that you need to cover, it can vary, okay? I'm going to show you again what I do. I just press it in just a few times, and then I'm going to go over and press it on my face all over. Now, the only places I kind of skip, I skip up here because I know I'm going to put my contour. I don't have a lot of discoloration up here. I don't need extra product there, so I just skip. I also put it on over my eyelids to prep my lids for my eyeshadows. I love how the powder eyeshadows will stick onto that very well, and I'll get a nice pigmentation on there when I add my color. So I'm just going to keep pressing it all over until I'm kind of like, okay, I'm not a lot more product is coming off. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, okay? So already I have some great coverage. Now I haven't really gotten any product here yet, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Do the same thing. And if you don't have a lot of discoloration and stuff in this area where you're going to put your cheek contour, you can skip that area. For me, I get some redness there, and I like to do a nice little coverage with my highlight. So I put my highlight almost everywhere. And if you are someone who hasn't started out with SAIT yet, you've been watching for a year, or you just got onto my page, welcome. Highlight could be confusing, is actually our main foundation color. It's the color that's going to match your skin tone. So now that I got that product all over, I'm just, I'll go slow, but usually when I go, I'm just going really fast like this. I'm doing this, but really fast. And I'm getting just that pressing motion, and this is really gonna blend it in all over. And the reason I like to press it all over my face first before I blend and do this is that the cream foundation really warms up to your face and it will cover so nice and blend in, okay? So that is my main foundation color. That's like step 1 or step 2. 1 and 2 can be reversed. You can start out with contour if you want. Okay, now there are other brushes that I like to use. If you want a really good contouring brush, the detail brush is amazing, and I use it every day. But I do like to show you, especially when you get started, I always suggest just one brush because really you can do your makeup with just one brush, and that's what we're going to do today. So now, once you have your highlight on, you're going to go to your contour. Now, don't forget, and if you're new, you might not know this, but because this is cream, when you're getting down to this tin, you might think, I'm almost out of product. You seriously are not. Like this, we can melt down. I have other videos and I can show you how to melt down your product. When you melt it down, it cleans it out as well because you can get any like hair or debris that got in it, but it will melt down and you move it around so it fills the bottom and you can get to your product a lot easier. But it's amazing how long these tins last. So what I'm going to do is go into my contour. Like I said, I'm pulling out my tins. Normally I'd leave them in my compact, but I like to show you how exactly I'm pressing into it. When you're using like a bigger brush like this, if you feel like you can't get into the tin really well, you can always manipulate your brush to the shape that you want. And that's what I like to do. First, I'm going to add contour right here around the edges of my face, and that's going to give me definition. And I'm just going to dab into it just like I normally do. And I'm going to put it right here around my hairline. And you I do kind of swirling motions, but there's also a little bit of that pressing. The cream contour, you guys, my hair is just like, ugh, I need to shower. But I thought since we're going to do a pool party today, I'm just going to do that afterwards. But I'm just going to press it in. And do you see how already that just really gave me a really nice shape to my forehead, giving the illusion of not so much forehead, and just by adding a little of that contour, which is really nice. But it looks super natural, right? Okay, so now this is when I really like to manipulate this brush into, you guys, I told you I liked my detail brush, right? I'm going to manipulate it into that shape, which is awesome that you can do that with these brushes. I'm going to manipulate it into kind of like a long oval and pick up some contour. And then I'm going to find my cheekbone. And you can see I already have kind of a little bit of a natural shadow there. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit from there to give that illusion of a lifted contour. And if you kind of do like this C, that's where you're going to place your contour. And like I said, I like to lift it a little bit because that's what's the amazing thing about contour. It gives you shape, dimension, and you can really manipulate that contour, okay? But if you're just getting started, really find where that cheekbone is and then just press it right here. And again, I'm still doing that pressing motion. And you can decide how much definition you want. You can really blend this out and have a very light line, but I like a little more definition. So I'm going to leave it a little darker there. And then I'm going to do it on the other side. Like so. I'm just going to keep doing those pressing motions to get exactly the look I want. So that's the second place I put my contour. Of course, there's lots of different things you can do with lip contouring, nose contouring, all that kind of stuff. And I have videos that show that stuff, but we're going to stick to the basics. The last place I like to put it is right under that jawline. So really, it's like a big 3, okay? You always want it around the edges of your face just to give some nice shape and dimension. There you go. So those two things together are really going to give you a nice base. You could just stop right here, but I like adding colors too. And I think a lot of people like having a little bit of a blush color, right? So normally I would go right to my blush and my illuminator. I am going to pause for my basic tutorial and talk about bronzer, because this is something that I love wearing it year round. Right now I have a pretty nice tan, but come here in the fall and in the winter, I'm not going to get as much sun, and I still like having that just nice warmth about it, okay? So if you have bronzer, and I also like to mix it with my illuminator, but I just keep them next to each other and I tap into both. But you're going to go in. I really like this brush. When I got started with bronzer, I started with the big fluffy end, and let me show you. If you start with my fluffy end, I'm just going to dab into it, okay? I'm not going to get a lot of product on there, and you can just swirl it on, and you're going to get a really nice light coverage of bronzer. That's how I started. If you're a little nervous about adding too much bronzer, you can always build it up. Start with the big fluffy side. You're not going to add too much product, okay? And I just like to put it at the top of my forehead. That's where I naturally get sun. And then I'm going to go and grab some more and put it at the top of my cheeks. And I kind of like press it, but then sometimes I do kind of swirling motions. Especially with the big fluffy end, I like doing that. Now, if you start getting more comfortable with bronzer, like now, I probably use the big fluffy, or this big, like more, not big, the smaller dense end, and then add my bronzer that way. And then one other place that I like to add my bronzer, because the neck, it just doesn't get as much sun as the rest of our face and chest. And so I use it just to really have a nice transition down my neck so you can't see that I like have makeup. I don't get that weird line. Okay, so that's really for bronzer. You just think about where the sun naturally hits. You can also put some on, I kind of think of like a big W here around your nose and here. That's where the sun really hits you. Also at the top of your forehead, sometimes your chin. And then I like to put bronzer on my neck. It's not where my sun, like the sun hits me, right? But like I said, it gives you a nice transition here so that you can't see that I have like a lot of makeup on, right? Not that I have a lot of makeup on, but you can't see that weird makeup line. Okay, so hopefully that helps whoever needed some bronzer tips. Now, I am actually going to find a different lip and cheek color because I was thinking that we're going into fall here soon, and I want to, not that it feels like fall at all here. It's like 90s, almost 100 today. It's going to be hot. That's why I'm in my swimsuit. We're going outside soon. But I do want to talk a little bit about some fall colors that are great coming into this season, okay? My favorite go-to fall color is Sandstone. She is so gorgeous. I'm going to stick to this one brush still. And everyone does this whenever I get together with them in person. They always start and they grab way too much product for their blush. Start very tiny because it packs a punch. So I'm just going to go in and really with a dark color like this, I'm going to go in one time and then we can always, do you see how much colors are already there? And so again, this is Sandstone. Sandstone is so good for the fall. And also this is the color I'm giving away for September's This Is How I Saint giveaway. That information is at the top of the page. If you want to get entered, all you have to do is post, like when you get Happy Mail, when your order comes, show me a picture of your palette. How did you set up your palette? Post a picture of you wearing your makeup. You can do a before and after. Like really, it's endless what you can post. But I love seeing you ladies showing off your saint and giving you a little bit of love because you girls deserve it. So this is Sandstone. I just put maybe 2 layers. I didn't build it up too much. Should we build it up a little bit more? That's what I love about cream products. You can just keep adding more and more until you get the color you like. But this is a beautiful, beautiful fall color, Sandstone. Now for lips, I like to mix Sandstone and La Cienega. And she's beautiful for in the fall too. So if you like a satin lip, I would stick with just Sandstone. And sometimes I do just stick to this. Okay, so that's Sandstone. Can you see why I think it's like the perfect fall color? Now, I like that gloss finish, so I'm going to add La Cienega on top of Sandstone. It's so pretty. Just wait until you see this. So good. Let me find my La Cienega. I think she's in this one. And La Cienega is so good. I wear it all the time in the summer. And like this tin has lasted me forever. You can see it's running low, but I could totally melt this out and we'll refill the bottom of there and still last me for a long time. But La Cienega is this beautiful pink gloss right here and has some shimmer in it, like gold flakes. So if you need like a really pretty gloss over any color, La Cienega is great. There you go. So this would be such a beautiful color going into the fall. What do you guys think? Okay, so the last step of doing your HAC, your highlight and your contour. So we did highlight, contour, we did a lip and cheek, we added bronzer in there. I wouldn't say that's like your basic HAC, but I wanted to show that off because somebody wanted to know about bronzer. Last is illuminator. So if you have illuminator, I always get the question like, what is illuminator? So illuminator is is going to give you just that final finishing touch. I say it's the sprinkles on top of your cake or your sundae or whatever you like. It's just that little hint of something that really finishes off your look. Oh, hey, good morning. I don't think my comments have been working. I don't know. But hey, good morning. Yes, aren't they beautiful colors? So illuminator is going to hit the tops of your face. It's when the light hits you, it's just going to give a very nice glow. Now, you may have powders. Let me find it. Powder illuminator. These three are powder illuminators. No, just kidding. These two are powder illuminators. So when the light hits you, they're going to like glitter, shimmer, okay? Now, if you don't want that shimmer, you probably ended up getting a cream illuminator. And here's 3 different cream illuminators that you could choose from. I think, yeah, this one's a cream illuminator as well. They're all going to work exactly the same. It just depends which one you picked up. So I'm going to show you the cream illuminator today. This is actually one of our solid perfumes, but it's the Rose Gold Illuminator. Again, use that same brush. If you're getting started, you probably only had one brush. And like that was one of the things I fell in love with Saint, is that you don't have to have all the things and you can still do a full face of makeup. So this, again, I could melt down. You can see I need to melt down my tins. But this is the Rose Gold Illuminator. I'm just going to tap into it. And this is the high point of my cheekbone, okay? And then we're going to blend it in here. And it's just, you're not going to see a lot of it. It's when the light hits those high points and catch the light. Do you see how it just gives me that just youthful, nice glow? And basically, it's like almost on top of where you put your blush color, okay? Top of your nose catches a little extra light. You can also put a little bit on your Cupid's bow. Really defines that lip there, okay, like so. And also up on your brow bone. That's kind of the main spots I like to put illuminator, and it would just, do you see that? Do you see how it just catches the light? Just a little something. I'm always honest with my customers. When I started wearing Saint, I did not buy the illuminator. I should say I did not fall for it. And that's how it felt like. I was like, I don't need it. You guys, once I started wearing it, I wear it every single day because I just love when I turn my face, how it catches the light. It just makes me feel very youthful. So if you're trying to decide between a powder or a cream illuminator, start with cream. Unless you're a very shimmery person, I started out with powder because that's me. But start out with a cream. It's very subtle, but you're gonna, anytime I go into the bathroom and the light hits my face, I'm always like, ooh, ooh. Or I see a picture of myself and I'm like, oh, I see it. Like, not kidding you. It makes a world of difference. So buy into it, you guys. Illuminator is amazing. I didn't realize what I was missing, I should say. Okay, so that is like my 3D foundation, a very basic hack. Of course, I can normally do this like in 5 minutes if I wasn't talking. But if you have questions about that, please reach out to me, leave me messages here, and I'd love to help you. So the last thing I want to talk about is a fall eyeshadow look. I need to grab out some colors. Let's see. You guys, did anyone else? Oh, I forgot I have Happy Mail. I got my big one. I haven't opened it yet. I got from the August brush sale. Oh, I'll have to go live again and show it. But this is the 20. I know a couple people snagged this one, and this is the one I keep all of my eyeshadows in, like my favorite eyeshadows. So the colors we're going to use today, I'm not sure I have them all in here. Let me make sure. Maybe I do actually have them all. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. So the colors that we're using today are Butterscotch, Moscow, what was the other one? And Zion, which is this one Zion? Let me make sure. Yes, in Zion, okay? So we kind of have a mix of a little bit of oranges, a little bit of reddies, and then I'm going to go in with some powder illuminator called Glamazing to make a beautiful eyeshadow look for this fall, okay? And I think it's going to go really nice with sandstone. So I always like to start out by curling my lashes so I don't mess up my eye look later. If you prime your lids with your highlight like I did, and then you're still finding yourself like your eyeshadows aren't lasting you all day, you may need to actually prep your lid with like setting powder. So one thing you can do, let me find it right here. Our setting powder, it's a pressed powder. So all you'd have to do is go in with the brush and just press it in. So it kind of just depends what kind of eyelids you have. Some people have more oily eyelids, and you might just need to prep your lid with a powder first, okay? I don't usually have to, but sometimes it's nice to start out as a base like that. So let's try to make this a quick eyeshadow look. I won't talk too much. I am going to actually use the blur brush here, just cleaning it off a little bit. This brush, I know a few of you also snagged this. Do the highlights have SPF? They do not have any SPF in them. What I usually do when I put on, I don't wear SPF every day just because I'm not outside all the time. I probably should have put it on before I did my makeup this morning. But what I normally do is I'll put the, I find a face moisturizer, not moisturizer, face, what's the word? Sunscreen that really any face one. You might have to be careful that it doesn't have silicone in it. That doesn't always mesh well with our cream products, but I don't have mine here. There's one called, I've never used it, Supergoop or something like that, that people really like as a sunscreen. But I can always show you which one I use. I think it's like Sunbum or something, but it's a face sunscreen. I put that on first and then I just apply my makeup. What else? What have I also have made like a tinted sunscreen, and then if I didn't want a whole face of makeup, I'll take the sunscreen. I'll just do like a little dab in my hand of whatever I need for my face. And then I take my highlight color and I put it on there, mix them together, and then rub it all around. So it's like a tinted sunscreen. Does that make sense? And then you can always go in and do your eyes or whatever you want. But no, there is no SPF. For a short answer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this butterscotch. Butterscotch is like this really pretty orangish brown, and I'm going to apply it all over my lid with the fluffy end. So I'm kind of doing a nice just like wash all over, and I'm bringing it up when my eyes are open. This is really good if you have hooded eyes. Go up above where you see that crease so you can see that color. I like to call it like a peekaboo color because I do want a little bit of orangish color in this look today. So I'm just going to apply it like that, okay? And when you pick up, excuse me, when you pick up the color, tap it off so you don't get too much product right away. I think it's always smart to go light, and then if it's not dark enough, go in and apply more. Plus, if you don't tap it off and you've already done the rest of your makeup, you'll get some crazy fallout on your cheeks, and you don't want that. Okay, so I'm just making sure it's blended in the way I want it, right above that natural crease that I have. You can see it's like a brownish, orangish color. So pretty. You could wear this all on its own and just call it good. Now let's add, we're gonna go in with Zion. This is another matte color. I'm gonna go in with the more dense end, grab just a little bit, not too much. And I'm just gonna focus that on this outer corner. I feel like I didn't get enough there. Let's go in again. Should we zoom in a little bit? If I can get it. Woo, okay. So I'm going to focus it right here and right here, kind of like a Pac-Man. And then I'm also going to start right here in the corner and pull it down on my lash line for like a liner. Okay, and then just blend it out a little bit, not too much, like so. Okay, then we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to focus it on that outer corner. Okay. And then bring it underneath. Okay. Okay, now I need to add shimmer. I always need shimmer. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Moscow, this really pretty shimmery red. I'm going to zoom back up a little bit. There we go. And just pick it up with my fingers. The shimmers, if you use your finger, you're going to get a little bit more punch. You're going to see that shimmer more. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to press it on like 2/3, the outer 2/3 of my eye. Like so. I think another color would be really pretty is ginger, that orange color. I don't know, should I add a little ginger? I'm kind of tempted to. Isn't Moscow pretty? I just love it. It's like a jewel red shimmer. So then I'm pressing it, but then I'm kind of like blending it in with my fingers as well. You could use a brush, but I really find that the warmth of my fingertips really just help. Should we add a little bit? I really think we should add a little bit of that ginger. Let's do it. I want to bring in a little more orange. Okay, let's do it. Why not? Okay, this is ginger. So it's kind of like Moscow, but like an orangish tint instead. Okay, I'm going to do this like right in the center. So it's going to be like an ombre, like red to orange. So pretty. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, 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 ooh. Would you guys wear this? Isn't this so pretty? Now, another color that you could do, I'm not going to do it today, but going into Blondie and get like the flakes of gold in there would be so gorgeous. But one thing I want to show you, I'm going to take this and just blend it. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to do one sweep over it just to make sure it's like blended nice. So pretty, but we're going to end with Glimmazing Illuminator. This is one of our powder illuminators. My Glimmazing fell apart right there. I dropped it. Oops. But it's a sparkly, I don't even know what color exactly it would be, but we're going to get it on my finger. See it? So pretty. Like an iridescent color. And we're just going to put it right here in the corner of my eye. And then we're going to blend it in a little bit. Glimmazing can be so gorgeous for like an evening out or like an event. I've seen so many wedding looks done with it. It's kind of a silvery white shimmer. So I think depending on this fall look, if you want more of a silver look or more of a gold look, I would go between Glimmazing or Blondie. And I'm just gonna go slow and kind of blend it into that ginger. There we go. Let's back it out, you can see. Isn't that pretty? So I really think a gold would be really pretty as well for a fall look. And then I'll just do my mascara and I'm done. Just a very subtle fall look, but I think it's just so pretty. So if you ladies have any questions, if you are just getting started, reach out to me anytime. I always am available virtually. If you're not local, we can just hop online each, like a Zoom call almost. I have done this a few times in just like I do my makeup while you do your makeup and we just walk through it all together. If you have specific questions, you can always message me. If you want to try out this makeup, of course, I would love to help you get color matched so you don't have to pick out your colors. I know that can be intimidating when you're not sure what main foundation color you should wear. And then I always give out suggestions too that I think might look good on you. So just comment color match if you want to get color matched. I always have a form at the top of the page as well if you'd rather just fill out the form to get color matched. Last but not least, I am trying to book some more parties. If anyone's interested in sharing this love of their makeup with their friends and family and earn some free makeup, you can earn up to $500 in free makeup and skincare. I love that you can use your credits on skincare because that's so important, and I love our skincare. It's hard to talk and do mascara. But I love doing that. I can do in person or depending on where you're located or virtually. And I run a Facebook party and we have fun with your friends and I'll show off the makeup for them. And you just have to get them invited and we can share the makeup with them. So I hope that helped a lot of you with answering some questions. I would always love to just serve you with whatever you want. So if you want to see more of anything, if you want me to feature any products, I have, I think, all the products. So certain colors, certain tips, certain applications, whatever it is, always let me know what you want to see and I will be able to help you out. So I hope you all have a fabulous and relaxing Labor Day and I'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.